Hey guys, happy Monday. It's Monday afternoon. Starting this drive home, my afternoon drive. Glad you could join me. For a few minutes here. And I am ready to go today. I didn't get anything I really needed. I've got all these things I've got to get done, all this homework. I got some ass. I'm doing 50. He passes me going 60 or more. I'm spending more time now. Tuesday days that I'm normally a little bit later, like today. My class starts at 6 o'clock my time, Central. So it starts at 6 o'clock, so I may not start the regular stream till 7:30 tonight. Trying to get out of this poor connection. Hold on, guys. Alright, so I'm back to a decent connection, at least it looks like for the time being. But I'm trying to get as quick as I can, get done with these classes. I'll try not to be too much of a delay on the evening shows. As I said, tonight I might not get started there till 7:30. It's a relatively quick class. I can probably get it done quickly and make the 7 o'clock for the show. I apologize, guys, about the poor connection. It's the cellular in this area. It comes and goes very, frequently. In any event, hopefully your day was as good as mine. I was saying that I had a really good day. It went quick, went fast. Got a lot done. I mean, not as much as I'd like to because I hate being bored. So, I mean, bottom line is, I actually got some things accomplished. There's probably nothing worse than being bored. That was our. So anyway, given my druthers, I would have probably stayed home in bed today because it was just this gray, cold, overcast, typical Monday morning for a lot of folks. But had some good conversation today. Had my first student. I was expecting a whopping 2 students or 3 students today, but I actually got 1. They haven't got everybody assigned to my class yet, so I found that kind of funny. That I only had one student in class today, and to be honest with you, even that was kind of a joke because we really didn't get anything accomplished from an education standpoint. All right, so what was it? See, normally I would have spent a little time on the internet, during lunchtime, and kind of looked at what was going on in the news. Didn't even get a chance. So hopefully when I get home, I'll see what's going on. Maybe it's something cool. Maybe we have an asteroid coming, or I don't know, something cool. I mean, I'm just so. How many people are so sick and tired of the same old crap in the news every day? Bad news, bad news, bad news. This person died, that person died. I mean, just something, anything. I mean, just something that's a positive, Trying to think of what did I read over the weekend? God, you know what I did? I didn't get a chance to go see any of the movies I wanted to go see. I had it all planned out. I was going to go see the Spider-Man animated one. So I'm going to go see Spider-Man. I'm going to go see Aquaman. I'm going to go see, I even thought I'd go see Mary Poppins. I really didn't care. I was just going to go see movies last weekend and didn't get a chance to see any of the movies that I wanted to. I sat home and ended up watching a couple movies that I had seen over and over and over again. I watched Groundhog Day. I don't know if you've ever seen Groundhog Day. It's with Bill Murray in it, and it's old where he repeats the same day over and over. I can't believe I've seen this thing 1,000 times. What did I end up doing? I ended up watching that again, and then I watched another one that I don't know if you ever seen one called Galaxy Quest. It's with Tim. What's his name? Tim Allen, the guy that plays. I guess he plays Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story, and Tim the Toolman Taylor. So he was in it. And, I just watch these movies that I've probably seen 1,000 times just to watch them again, I love these guys that, like, run up next to you and think they're going to go somewhere. Guys, there's a truck in front of you. So, anyway, there's, I'm trying to think what's going on. Oh, I have to, on the way home, my thought was that I would stop and just pick up one of those $1 million lottery tickets because they just came out with a whole new series. And I just got this, I had this very strange feeling that today was going to be a lucky day all the way around. And somebody said, well, you should stop and get one of these lottery tickets because they just came out, they're new, and they just released them. And so all the prizes are available. And I thought to myself, that would be an awesome way to start a Monday. So I'm thinking about when I go home, stop, grab some of these lottery tickets, because I really think that would be like the icing on the cake to actually hit for a decent prize. So I'm thinking about it. I'm not usually a big lottery player, so I don't usually do the Powerball or the Mega Millions. Well, let me rephrase that. When it hits the $1 billion for $1 billion for the lottery, I have played it then. So I have put a few dollars into it when it gets up. Oh, usually over. I think my threshold is 500 million. When it gets over 500 million, then I'll go ahead and spend $5 or $10 on tickets. And that's about it. I don't buy a whole lot of these lottery tickets. But the scratching lottery tickets, the scratch-off ones, I very seldom do. My wife does them all the time. She actually has a YouTube channel. We kind of started as a family, but she kind of runs it because she does all the lottery tickets. But it's called Sand Scratchers. If you ever get a chance, go to YouTube, look at her. She scratches all these lottery tickets, the ones she wins, you get to watch her scratch them right then and there. And for some reason, there's a calling for this type of, people love to watch other people scratch lottery tickets. I don't know. And a lot of them now are also where they'll take donations and split it with you and that kind of stuff. So that's cool. She's thinking about doing that. I'm trying to think what else I did on Saturday. Oh, I know what I did. I was on Twitch, and I almost forgot this because it was totally bizarre. And I'm going through, I go to browse, and I kind of like to go through and see the different games and the different channels that are out there. And I come across this one, and I thought it was a game or something. I was like, I've never heard of that. It was what was it called? ASMR. It was like a picture of two big ears. It looked like two big ears and said ASMR. So I clicked on it, and there's like maybe 100 different channels going, so I click on one, and I couldn't make this up if I wanted. So I click on this channel, and there's a person standing in front of a mic tearing paper. God's honest truth. Tearing a sheet of paper. So I'm waiting, I'm watching, and then they take it and they tear it a different way. And then they take a piece of paper and they tear it lengthwise. And they're just sitting there tearing paper. And every now and then they'll whisper something into the mic, which you can barely hear, and then they continue tearing paper. So I thought, this person probably just on prescription medication or something, I don't know. So I clicked to the next channel, and the next channel, I swear to God, there's this girl with a piece of cardboard scratching cardboard into the microphone, just scratching this cardboard, and then she'll move it to the other side and scratch the cardboard. And I'm like, what the fuck? What am I? So I clicked to another channel and another channel. And they're like, they got this plastic wrap. They're crinkling plastic wrap. Another one is taking like the little squeaky like styrofoam stuff and all the. And I'm like, have I just totally lost it? Am I out of my fucking mind? What am I watching here? What is this stuff? It's like it's some kind of. I was gonna like alert the Twitch people that there's some kind of a cult that just took over one of the. I had no idea, and I'm like, am I? What the hell is this? Got to be some kind of a new wave. You know how a lot of them have these new wave things, like where it's like years ago it was a pyramid. You go sit in a pyramid, and then it was the magnetic bracelets and all this crazy. You know, I'm like, oh, it's got to maybe it's something like that. So I had to look it up, and it was like I can't even remember what it stands for. But apparently there's certain sounds. They say there's sounds that have a different reaction or stimulate your body in different ways. I didn't get anything out of it. I had no idea. I was listening to it going, don't see it. Not there. I just couldn't. I'm thinking to myself going, psycho. I mean, people are scratching and squeaking and tweaking and, you know, popping. And I'm going, no. I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, could I sit there and watch that or listen to that for any period of time? And surprisingly, the answer was no, I couldn't. And I didn't. And I got out of there and I just went, wow, man, I was, you know, and I'm just saying that I'm sure that works for some people. And I'm sure there's probably some kind of study behind it where they studied it and they said, oh, yes. Because I kept thinking maybe as I was reading the definition, I had to Google it and just look up what the heck it was. And I'm thinking, well, maybe they mean like, how many people have heard nails on a chalkboard and how it makes you kind of cringe? So I'm thinking, well, that has an effect on me. So maybe maybe tearing paper for some people has some kind of an effect on them. I was trying to rationalize what I was seeing, but I didn't get it. And that doesn't mean it's not legit. It doesn't mean that it's not something that's cool and works. I just personally was like, that would interest me for about 5 minutes, and then I'd be going on to something else. That's just me personally. I'm not saying, you know, some people I'm sure watch it for hours and are perfectly content with it. I just couldn't get into it. I was like, well, next thing. So that was one of the highlights of my weekend. I found that channel and went, whoa, I'm so out of it. You know, maybe I'm just so out of tune with what's going on. There's always something new, always something different, you know. So, yeah, it was definitely interesting. I was kind of freaking out a little bit there. But, you know, everybody needs something. And obviously, there's got to be a following for it. Because there wasn't just, like, one channel or two. There was, like, dozens of channels. I mean, so it wasn't so, like, just one or two people doing it. There was a lot of interest and a lot of people doing it. I just personally was like, I don't get it. I don't get it. What's going on? I don't get it. Ripping paper, scratching cardboard. I don't get it. You know, it was just me. I felt really stupid after I was done going, and I just spent 20 minutes looking at all these different ones and didn't really get anything out of it. You know, but I did learn something. I learned that that is a legitimate following. I think it was called ASMR or no yeah, I think so. ARSM? I'm not sure. You'll see it. It's the only channel there that has two big ears on the side of the image. Yeah, I think I'll just keep to my own chat thing, that chit chat where, you know, most of the channels I view are. And had some good conversation in there. I met a few other folks on in their channels. And somebody gave me you know, I guess, and this tells you, I was in one channel, really, and she was singing, and she was a very musical person. She was singing and very entertaining, very good voice too. Lemon, oh God, what was her? I can't remember her handle. It was Lemon something, but somebody had gifted me a subscription to her channel, and so I'll host her on my channel sometimes when she's on. But it was really, there's some people that I found that I really do enjoy on Twitch. Others are entertaining for a little while, and I try to kind of revisit the folks because, like, the one guy I went to, he was explaining how he, I think his name was Slayer. I think that was his Slayer something. But he had done, I guess he had done a channel previously, built up a following, then stopped doing it for a while. I was just getting back into it. But he was kind of a little down. But it was still, just to have that chit-chat and kind of engage was pretty cool. I mean, it was definitely, he's the same thing. He had a guitar, and he was kind of relearning a lot of what he did, a lot of the songs he knew. And so it was pretty neat. I don't mind, I still haven't figured out, but, well, actually, no, let me rephrase that. I do think, I'm going to actually test it tonight. I do think I figured out the bits and the tips and all that, setting it up with my PayPal and all that. I do think I got it figured out because apparently I just thought it automatically worked. I kind of figured once you set up your screen and everything, that was something that was just kind of an automatic thing that was there. But you can customize it a lot of different ways. So I customized it a little bit. And activated everything the way it was supposed to be. So I'm kind of one day, hopefully, I don't know when, but somebody will de-virginize me and I'll get bits. And I guess bits are something that if you watch advertising on a channel, if you're watching advertising, you collect bits. So you get bits for watching the ads, and then the bits translate into dollars or cents or whatever when you donate them to other people whose channels you're on. Something like that. I think that sounds right. But I have not been de-virginized with bits or any kind of tips. So nobody, and I now maybe at one time somebody tried to do bits and couldn't, or I didn't have it set up for bits, or maybe they tried to do tips and I didn't know I wasn't set up. But I think I've got everything set now, and I'll figure. Now, I don't get the bits. I've watched commercials from beginning to end on these different channels, but at least not that I know of, I haven't been getting any kind of bits, so I don't have them to donate. I was going to give them to some of the people that I watch and whose sites I visit, but apparently I don't get them. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe you got to be a Twitch Prime person. I have no idea. Anyway, guys, let me see what else. What's going on today? I had the lunchtime. Lunch was actually pretty good. You guys know I'm on this carb thing where I'm changing my lifestyle and reducing the carbs. It's not a diet. I'm not on a diet. I'm just changing my lifestyle a little bit, and I'm already down almost 20 pounds. Maybe 20 pounds. I'm not sure, but today it was great because they brought in Olive Garden. They had breadsticks, and they had soups and salads and lasagna and fettuccine alfredo. And I looked at every bit of it, and I went, I want all of it. But then I said, but I don't need all of it, and it's not going to be that good for me. And I didn't have a single bite of any of it. I went back and ate my celery, and then had some cheese and, pepperoni, just stuff that munchy stuff that are not high in carbs. But it was really kind of weird. I really thought I would crave Olive Garden because I like Olive Garden. I like it a lot. But I wasn't even the least bit tempted. I mean, I was looking at it, go, wow, that looks good. Yeah, no big deal. I just wasn't not even tempted in the least. And I thought to myself, wow, that must mean. See, that's the one thing about this. I've never been on a, this lifestyle change. This little change I'm going through here is no carb. Well, not no carbs, just low carbs. But I've never eaten so much in my life. I'm eating 4, 5, 6 times a day, and it's just constant eating, and I'm losing weight by just eating all the time. So it's awesome in a lot of respects, but I just keep waiting. It's going to have to stop sometime. There's going to have to be a certain point where I stop losing weight. I mean, Oh, what was it? What was I? 304, 306, something like that. I think it was 305. Anyway, I was over 300 when I started this thing on the first of the year. Now I'm down. I weighed myself the other day. I was at 284. So from 284 to over 300. I want to say I was 305, 306. But the point is, at least it's working. The weight's coming off. And I'm not starving myself. I'm not hungry. So that's a plus. There's some people that can lose weight just waiting in line at Walmart. I mean, it just amazes me. Some people's metabolism, they can eat, never gain a pound. I can look at food and gain 5 pounds. I mean, I can smell something and gain 3 pounds, you know. But it's a little bit different now. I actually went out, I bought a Fitbit. All right, yeah, this is the best $250 I ever spent, I'm sure. But it's supposed to do my sleep patterns, everything. It's supposed to track all this stuff. I haven't played with it other than it tells me that right now my heart rate is 87 beats. And I've taken 5,000 steps today or something. You know, it'll kind of keep track of that kind of stuff. Oh. What else? Oh, during lunch, I became the shoulder to cry on for one of our officers that is having trouble with her hubby, and I became the shoulder where she felt that she could just kind of unload all her problems. And you know, I kind of smiled. I didn't say anything. I was supportive, you know, I was encouraging, but there was part of me that was like, look, deal with your problems, you know. I was asking, she has spent so much time listening to what everybody else says and no time dealing with their problems. I kept thinking, well, what the hell does she want me to say? Anything I say or anything I do at this point is just going to be ignored. I can get out there. Because everything that everybody's been telling her, she hasn't done. So, but yeah, she has a husband who she thinks he's cheating, and you know, all this whole scenario came out, and I thought about it, and I said, well, you know, this is just me talking to her. I was like, look, I says, if you're not happy, talk to him about it, confront him, find out what's going on. I mean, don't just sit there and tuck your tail. Be assertive, be aggressive, stand up for yourself, you know. But she's such a little mousy, you know, she's kind of a little mouse, kind of introverted, very quiet, and I says, you know, that's great. There's a time and a place for that. And I acknowledge that. I says, you can be, you know, reserved and, you know, an introvert sometimes. But when it's dealing with certain things in your life, you've got to become a tiger. You've got to be a little bit more, you know. And she says, do you really think so? And I was like, oh my God. What do you mean you really think so? Yes. You can't let your life, you know, life is funny. You either handle your life or your life is going to handle you. You can't just let things happen to you and be blind about it. You've got to stand up for yourself. You've got to, you know, without just grabbing her and shaking her and going, don't you get it? You know, without doing that, I listened. I think what she really needed was just somebody to listen. And I'm a great listener. I listened the whole lunchtime, and, you know, and then more people would come and sit down with us, and they would tell her. I loved everybody that was just kind of telling her what to do. And it was great listening, because I just kind of sat back for like the longest time, and they were all like kind of telling her exactly what to do, and some of the information I didn't agree with whatsoever. But, you know, I think it's good that she hears multiple different, you know, viewpoints. But in the end, you know, you've got to do it for yourself. Nobody's going to do it for you. So, but I just listened, and I was the shoulder, let her vent a little bit, get it out there. Wow, sometimes you just kind of wonder, what is it? Do I have something on my forehead, that just kind of says, tell me, I mean, who am I? I'm nobody. So I promise you that it's not that I don't care. It's not, I mean, I hate to see anybody. I don't care who you are. Even my enemies, I would hate to see, in a bad situation. I don't want to see anybody hurting for the wrong reasons. But, my thoughts are, if you're having that suspicion something's going on, then something's going on. That's kind of where I'm at. It's like, don't pretend and don't play like you don't see what's going on. Stand up, step up, be assertive, be aggressive. Say and do what's necessary for your own sanity, Oh, what else happened today? Anything exciting? Pretty much nothing. It was just a day of work. So, do you guys find yourself getting pulled into the drama of your friends or family? I mean, do you ever find yourself being kind of pulled into it? Not that you're looking to be a part of it, or not that you're even asking, or answering questions. It's just for some reason people come to you and just start telling you their life story and all their problems. Does that happen to anybody else, or is it just me? Because I'm just thinking to myself, going, you know what? Everybody that kind of comes to me and opens up and kind of spews this information out, my first question I want to ask them, and I think it's a good question, is, why are you telling me this? That's my first question, is, what is it that gave you the first inkling that I'm the right person to talk to about your problems? I mean, maybe it's a layer of trust. Maybe they trust you, and or maybe it's the fact that they don't know you, so it's even you become more approachable because they know that you don't know the same people in their circles, and maybe that you'll be an independent third opinion, so they're going to go ahead and ask you because they feel a degree of safety there. Maybe that's it. And also maybe they understand that I'm not going to tell them anything that's not true. Meaning, in other words, some people will tell you things just to make you feel better, or to me, and with me, everybody, that's one thing I pride myself on. Everybody always knows where they stand with me. I'm not a backstabber. I'll never stab you in the back. I'll come at you full force from the front. You'll know it. But I'll never stab you in the back. If I say anything about you, I would say the exact same thing to your face. So that's just something that I've always felt, about me. That's one thing I've always felt I don't ever want to change. I don't ever want to give people doubt about anything I say. If you ask me, do I look fat in this dress? If you look fat in that dress, I'm going to let you know. I might not say, yeah, you look fat. I might say, well, you've looked thinner. Would you get the same? You'd get the same understanding. If I said to you, if you said, do I look fat in this dress? And I said, well, you've looked thinner. That's kind of a subversive way of saying, yes, you look fat. But, you would understand that. I don't have to be mean, but I wouldn't lie to you. If you say, do you think I'm smart or stupid? Now, that's a question that, of course, is one of those questions where you have to be very careful. Now, if I think you're a stupid person and uneducated, which very few people, I mean, honestly, how many people do you know that you would say you're stupid? I don't think that anybody's stupid. We all have different levels of intelligence. I'm not saying that somebody's stupid, but if somebody said to me, "Do you think I'm stupid?" what I might say in return is, "Well, I think you know a great deal of information about a lot of different things, but not that much information about a lot of other things." See? Kind of skirted, but bottom line is, it's kind of like saying you're not stupid, but you don't know as much as you think you do. You know, it's just ways of saying it. You know, my brother always, one day he said to me, he says, "Do you know why people gravitate around you? Do you understand why people like to be, engaged with what you're?" And I says, "No." I said, "I really don't." He told me, he says, "Because you have the ability to tell somebody to go to hell and have them look forward to the trip." And I says, "Well, I never thought of it that way. I mean, because that's definitely not what I try to put out there." But he says, "No," he says, "it's just the way you do it. You speak to people a certain way where you're not insulting, but you kind of get the point across and you make them understand." And I said, "Well, I just talk to everybody like I would want to be talked to. If I ask a question to someone, I don't want you to just tell me what I want to hear. I don't want you to tell me something to make me feel good. If you've got to rip my heart out, if you've got to tell me the truth so I get it through my head, then do it. Don't sit there and beat around the bush. Don't try to be my friend. If I ask you a question, tell me the answer. Good, bad, or indifferent, tell me the answer. That's all I care about. I don't want to sit here and have to listen to you tell me what I want to hear just to make me feel better. That's not going to do me any good, especially if it's not the answer, if it's not the truth. So, I never get upset when if I have an idea and somebody says to me, "Dude, that is the stupidest freaking idea I've ever heard. Don't waste your time." Now, if they're that direct, they tell me it's a stupid idea, does that mean that I'm not going to do it? No, not necessarily. But I value that opinion, and I absolutely will look into it and do a little bit more research and make sure that whatever decision I make, it's a well-informed decision. But just because somebody is truthful and tells you one thing, it doesn't make it's just their version of truth. So keep that in mind when you ask somebody for the truth and they tell you, it's their version of truth. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the truth. It's just one of the many truths that are out there. Everybody will have their own opinion. But what you got to do is, are they really confirming what most people have said? Because if they are, if their version of truth is in alignment with many other people's on the same issue that you've asked, well, chances are that's the truth. That goes back to the old Occam's razor. If you ever heard the Occam's razor is, all things being considered equal, usually the simplest answer is the correct one. So that's kind of in a nutshell what Occam's razor is. It's like, all things being equal, everything being considered, the simplest explanation is often the correct explanation, So if you've asked a lot of people and you've gotten pretty much the same response from everybody, you can be pretty sure that's going to be the right answer. But yeah. I have class today at 6 o'clock. 7 o'clock, I'll try and get that stream off, or a little bit later. Come join me if you got a chance. If you're following me and you're not, I don't have chat in the car, so I can't see you, but if you're following now or if you're watching the stream, I'm doing another one at around 7 o'clock. If I get my classes done, it may be as late as 7:30. I don't know yet. But stop by, and I'm on Twitch and Periscope and Stream Me and Smashcast and YouTube, and I'm all over as far as where I stream at. So wherever you're at, Mixer, I'm on Mixer. Come in and join. Just chill out with me, kick back. We'll have some decent conversation about whatever. Who cares? Whatever we talk about, I don't really care. But we'll get together tonight if you can make it. Love it. I'm going to give you my shameless promotion. Follow me if you can. Subscribe to me if you can. I don't know what platform you're following me on, if it's Twitch or if it's, Facebook or YouTube or whatever. But if you can, follow me. I would appreciate that. Subscribe. I always like knowing that I got folks that are, out there watching, and that maybe one day I'll jump in and join some of the conversations. We had a great conversation going last week about motorcycles. I'm a huge motorcycle buff, and I regret I had a bike I just bought. I had about a year when I was in Arizona, and I moved here to Florida and sold the bike, and I regret every single time I think about it. I regret it. I should have kept the motorcycle. It was probably one of the best bikes I had. It wasn't a Harley, but it was great. It had the leather saddlebags with the studs. I mean, it was very similar to a Harley-Davidson Heritage Softail Classic, almost identical look and feel. I think it was a 2006 or a 2007. Maybe it had to be a 6 or a 7. But it was a Suzuki Boulevard. It was a touring bike. One of the best, 1800 cc's, very large bike. For me, I'm a big guy, so it fit me like a glove. I regret that I got rid of it, because now I could have really enjoyed riding it here in Florida. Although I don't see, it's kind of funny, I don't see bikes too often like today. You don't see bikes, at least where I'm at, very often. Now, when Bike Week comes around and the bikers come in, then the bikes kind of come out. But for the most part, I don't see a lot of motorcycles on the road to and from work. And I just don't. I mean, if you could see, you can look out my windows here. Very rarely will you see motorcycles. I don't know why that is. But weather, maybe it's 50, 60 degrees now. Maybe they don't like to ride when it's cold. Who knows? Overcast. But yeah, we got in a good conversation about motorcycles. That was fun. I'm pretty eclectic. I like talking about anything. I mean, I really do. I don't mind politics. You want to talk politics. You want to talk religion. You want to talk dating and life in general, relationships. I'm cool with all of that. Music, movies. I'm a huge movie buff. I have a lot of topics that I'm very comfortable talking about. There are some topics, not too many, maybe one or two topics that I don't like talking about offhand. Well, they're not worth mentioning, but there are some topics I'll stray away from that I don't feel are worth it. They're kind of negative. So I will I might engage a little bit on them, but I try to divert the conversation away. But other than that, I'm pretty open. I've told you guys before, there's a guy that I watch on, actually he's at, I think he's at the Consumer Electronics Show this week, or last week, I think, CES show. His name, Barnacles, is he's on Twitch. If you ever get a chance, check out his show too. Great show, really entertaining. He has his moments where he's not there for one reason or the other. It may be personal, or maybe things happen that he misses a show here and there. But he's trying to get much more consistent. I've been following him for a couple years, and I've watched his stream grow. And I will say he's got a really great group of people, a great group of followers that follow him. They'll engage. They talk about all kinds of stuff. And it's really, like I said, it's entertaining to watch. So if you ever get a chance, that's kind of what I can aspire to be as I get my show's less than 15 days old. I'm still kind of figuring out exactly who I am and how I want this to go. But I just I want it to be a very free-flowing show, an engagement with a lot of good people, a lot of good friends. I don't want to make it something into, I don't want to have to be phony. I don't want to have to be fake. I just want to be able to be who I am, and have the people that jump on board with who they are, and I'll enjoy it. And that's why I said Barnacules is a really good show. It gets really crazy sometimes. He kind of goes over the top on stuff, but it's all in good fun. And he's very much like me. He's very open about family life, about all the things that go on in the world. You know, very, very good show if you ever get a chance. So this evening, be patient with me. I will try to get everything there as soon as I can and get up and going. I am still trying to come up with a different theme song, because the theme song I have is more about politics, because at the time that's what I was most focused on, because I was freaking out on all the stuff that's happening in our country, and I had not followed politics for decades, and all of a sudden I started reading the news, which I hadn't read the newspapers or the websites, and I hadn't done any of that, and I started getting into it, and I realized I was so out of touch with the political climate in our country and how things were. I really wanted to get into learning more, and so the theme song I have now is kind of geared towards politics and that. But then after I started it, I said, you know what? I can't do just politics, because I'll explode. I mean, I will explode. There's just no way. So kind of opened it up, and it's very, very diverse group of people is what I'm looking for, to talk about whatever. We'll go from there. But yeah, politics are fun sometimes, but boy, I don't think I could do it every day. Every day. I couldn't be like, what was the guy who was listening to Sean Hannity. Couldn't do it. Couldn't be like that all day, and be on strictly about politics. It sounds like it's recycled, repeated, and I just couldn't do it. All right, I'm almost home, in the main stretch anyway. I was gonna stop and get some wings today, so I'd have some chicken wings for dinner, but I think I'll end up doing a pork tenderloin tonight. That kind of sits well with me. Very good for dinner. Ooh, I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. If you can, this evening, I'm going to try, like I said, try to do the 7 o'clock, maybe as late as 7:30. But if you get a chance, jump on and chat. Just say hi, and follow me if you can. If you want to test out my bits, and you have bits, 1 or 2 bits, 10, I don't know if you have to give away so many in a giveaway, but if you have bits, throw me some bits and let me see if the thing works, where I can actually see if bits come on my. It's supposed to show something. It's supposed to play an alert. So I want to see if you have any bits, or if you want to throw me a tip, do that, and let me see if the stuff works. I'd be very, very appreciative, to say the least. That's kind of, bits and tips make my world go around. Those are good. If it works out the way it's supposed to, that's going to be pretty awesome. I mean, I never ever thought, after watching these channels, I'm kind of more and more confident that that's a good. I was like, I never thought that these channels would go anywhere, that it would be, would I ever get watchers? Well, I'm already getting subscribers on YouTube. I'm already getting followers on Twitch. So I'm starting to say, okay, well, I see people actually do watch these things. They actually follow them, and so hopefully, and I'm just crossing my fingers, hopefully, within the next couple weeks or the next couple months, my channel specifically will start to gel, and I really do. I appreciate you guys coming onto my channel, coming and chatting with me, letting me know what you like, what you don't like, how I can make it better. because my guess is so many of you have went to so many other channels, and everybody's got their own little niche or their own little shtick that they're going off of. Let me know. Feedback is great. Just kind of give me some suggestions. What is it that you find you'll enjoy? I'm trying, there's some things that I'm learning that I can't do on my, don't play any copyrighted music. Don't show any movie clips. Don't do, so many don'ts. You can't do this, can't do that, can't do this, can't do that. So I'm kind of like, well, what can I do? And that's kind of where I'm at. What's fun to watch? What's fun to do? So I'm kind of curious as to where this all will go, but I will say, having you on board, give me some feedback, definitely worth everything. So I appreciate you, each and every one of you. A lot of folks I know, I'll get out there, they don't even chat. I'll look, and they'll be like say, so many people are watching, but yet nobody's saying anything. But that's cool. I mean, I'm okay with that, because I know a lot of people will click for a few minutes, and if nothing grabs their attention or whatever, they flick to another one, because I do the same thing. I do the same thing. I'll click on a channel, I'll watch a minute or two, and if nothing seems to be going on, I'll click to another channel. But while you're there, if you're there, and follow me, just click the follow button. But right now, I know that I've tried to get out to as many platforms as I can. Facebook is being kind of douchey. I don't know what their deal is. I've tried to set up and follow their policies and be able to stream to my page, and for whatever reason they'll keep deactivating it and say, send me a picture of yourself and we'll reactivate you after we review this and that. And I'm getting tired of that. That says getting real old. I'm like, what the hell is the deal? Put my page out, leave me alone. I'm on there. So yeah, I think I'm about ready to just wash my hands of Facebook. I mean, I know there's a billion people that use it, but you know what? I'm going to be one less, because I'm not a big fan of it at all. I don't know, little bits and pieces of it just don't sit well with me. Anyway, guys, I'm getting ready to pull up to the house. Thanks for sticking with me during the afternoon drive, if you stayed the whole time, or if you just tuning in. I appreciate you tuning in. But I'm going to try and do my best for you tonight. Try and be there as quick as I can. So see you this evening. Be safe, and we'll talk again. And if I don't see you tonight, maybe I'll see you on the morning drive tomorrow morning at around 6 o'clock, 6:15, whatever the case may be. And have a good one. We'll see you soon.